Right.
And also even suggestions that you may have to help us in our endeavor. That's as far as volunteering, if you have an expertise in a certain area and you can help us. One of the areas that I have is building healthier environments. What kind of struck me is that approximately 62% of the U.S. adults and 34% of U.S. children are overweight and obese. Our medical costs are rising, more people are on medication. We're just leading more sedentary lives. And one of the big goals of the Green Team is, and this is something that's going to take a lot more time than even just getting certified, is to educate our youth, educate the adults on how to lead, ride your bicycles more instead of driving cars, or how to eat healthier, how to exercise. We are going to form a lot of different committees and work with different organizations, whether it be Town and Rec Department, the Y, the local Y, get everybody's input, because we really want to make sure that we educate and hopefully change our habits. It'll help the environment, it'll help, everybody's suffering with the economy as far as, eating healthy is expensive, but it doesn't have to be. You can do things, you can exercise that doesn't cost a lot of money. Joining a gym may be something that is a luxury right now, but whether it be exercising in the park with other people or walking places, it's definitely going to save families money. So
right, as we look at the things that we're looking to accomplish, obviously becoming certified by Sustainable New Jersey is one of our primary goals. It's not our only goal. What we're really looking at is as we go through the different items and discussing what needs to be accomplished in these items within the Sustainable New Jersey plan. Some of the things probably don't make sense for our community, but as we talked about this evening in our meeting, we said that we could use these as jumping off points, that perhaps while we wouldn't be using it as a portion of our accreditation, we could use this as an educational tool, or something that we feel is important that we could expand on in our own community to help educate and to help make this town a better place to live. I think going into this project, and the mayor and I spoke about this before I agreed to become chairman. I think one of the key things that we look to do as an organization is to, in an effort to become more fuel efficient, more energy efficient, I think one of the key things that we want to do as an organization is to suggest things that will have cost savings for our community, especially in these difficult economic times. So if we can figure out ways to reduce our energy consumption, perhaps make our town buildings and offices more energy efficient, come up with different ways that we can improve on our community and find ways that we can ultimately save money, recycling programs, things like that. I think that's really where I think a lot of our focus is going to be, in addition to reaching out to educational organizations, trying to promote things like the arts in our community and a variety of other things that, while not necessarily technically green, certainly will help make this town a better place to live.
Well, if I look at the agenda that we had for this meeting, the Green Team's meeting earlier tonight, and one of the nice things I liked about Sustainable Jersey, and I do encourage our residents to go to the website, which is www.sustainablejersey.com. Which is nice about it, this was put together by experts in the fields from Rutgers University and the College of New Jersey, and some state officials and a few other agencies as well. I think they did a very nice job of putting together a roadmap of suggestions on how towns become more quote-unquote sustainable. The goal isn't truly to be sustainable by the true definition of the word, but to get more towards being sustainable, though. And so we had really 15 agenda items on actions that we're working on for Sustainable Jersey. For example, Dr. Larry Budnick talked about lead education and outreach programs. Tim Van Epp talked about the municipal carbon footprint and a climate action plan. Stacy talked about building healthier communities. Chris Macklin, you alluded to this, Bill, talked about our anti-idling education and enforcement. Jim Gilday talked about our safe routes to school, which, if I may just do a plug right now, we do have a walking school bus program, which really ties in very nicely with our Green Team and our goals. And it's been very active and very effective this year. I know the year is almost over, but next year, if you're a parent out there and you want to put together a walking school bus, please get in touch with your school. It's basically a school bus without the bus. And we have a planned route where parents maybe take various days where they walk to school a certain way, and as they're walking and picking more and more children up, they get an orange vest, they get a stop sign, they even get a red wagon where they can put those heavy backpacks in, and so it's fun. I do it every year. I walk to school with a bunch of kids for walk to school day, and it's a terrific way to get more cars off the road, which is better from a pollution standpoint, but also makes our children healthier. And by the time they get to school, they've gotten energized and they're awake and they're excited about starting school. Right. So, if you can and you're interested about doing that, please do so and work with your school to get that done. So that's one of the things that the Green Team's working on.
Yeah, I mean, jumping off on the anti-idling again. You know, we talked about this quite a bit tonight. You know, one of the things that I think is you know, part of the long-term goal of the Green Team is not just to come up with you know, items to check off on this checklist, but also is long-term changes to people's behavior, and I think that's what we're kind of talking about. You know, we were discussing how, you know, in using the Walking to School program, the Walking School Bus program, that it seems that over the years that fewer and fewer kids were actually walking to school or riding their bikes to school, and you know, we talked about that. You know, I grew up here in Westfield and went to Westfield High School, and when I went to Westfield High School, there were hundreds of bicycles at the bike racks at the high school. Well, now kids don't ride their bikes to school, and you know, one of the issues there is that they're carrying so many books and things that it's really is just impossible for them to lug that many books and try to ride a bike and try to navigate people going to and from you know, wherever, and it's a difficult thing. So, you know, while that may be a lofty goal to try to encourage kids to ride bikes to school, it's not necessarily realistic. So, but it's certainly something that we could try to encourage. Is there other ways that we can accomplish that? And you know, as technology changes and as we implement different things, that perhaps books won't be as important, and that websites and you know, those types of things will become more prevalent in education, and perhaps those issues will change over time, and then we can encourage people to try to get to, you know, to and from different areas using something other than a car. And that's one of our goals. I mean, we don't have a set amount of time for this. I mean, our Green Team has an unlimited time frame, so this will take as long as it needs to take, and it's something that will hopefully last for years.
One thing I should say: this is not something that's mandated by the state. Right. It's optional, obviously, but although I think that there's been 200-something communities that have signed up, you do have to register online, sign up to take the first step to become sustainable, and there's been maybe 20 or 30 communities that have become quote-unquote sustainable. So what's that mean, Bill, when you become sustainable?
Well, it means that you've basically is made this a priority in your community, and that you've taken the time to look at the different things that were identified as important elements of the sustainability plan and have accomplished those. But as I said before, I think this is a good outline. I think that Sustainable New Jersey, that as an organization, has provided communities a very good outline to follow for things, basically give them ideas of things that they can do as a community to try to improve on, in effect, quality of life type issues. Things like, you know, health plans are important, and utilizing the talents of members of the community in order to accomplish those things. Another good example would be, you know, like the creation of the Green Team, to try to bring varied talents together, to try to really come up with good ideas and to solicit the help of the community in order to come up with things that are important to the community. And like I said, I think that a lot of what we can do, or what we are doing, is already being done by this community. I think that Westfield is a good example of a community that not because of a Sustainable New Jersey type of program has been looking at a lot of these things anyway. I mean, we have a historic preservation plan, for example. You know, we are doing things like the anti-idling, I keep harping on, you know, recycling programs, and we do a lot of the good work that these types of organizations are looking for other communities to adopt. So, you know, I think for us, we're a leg up on a lot of this stuff, and I think that we obviously have more things that we can do, and I think that organizations like the Green Team will help us get there.